Hey, Dad. I know I'm supposed to be there right now, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it with everything going down here in Atlanta. This work, my schedule, financially, it didn't allow me to be there. I am so sorry. Even with everything that's going on with me, growing up with you has taught me not to worry. You never had to tell me too many times not to worry, but just being raised by you, I've developed this instinct why I don't worry. There are literally times where I go through a lot and I close my eyes in the midst of whether it's tears or not, and I just see you. And I immediately think, WWDD, what would Daddy do? And I pray about it. I actually do. And I just let go and I let God. There was a moment we shared years ago, and I don't even know if you remember. Um, when I moved to Georgia by myself, I told you and Mom that I wanted to move to Georgia. You all was super supportive, confused, but you okay with me wanting to leave Maryland. So I came down to Georgia from 2009 to 2000 through 2010. And during that year, 2010, I was released from my job. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I had so many thoughts that ran through my head as soon as it happened. How will I pay rent? How will I eat? How will I live? I don't want to go back to Maryland. And at the time, you all didn't know, but I was pregnant. And I'm like, how am I going to raise this child? What am I going to do? How am I going to take care of this baby? So I called you and Mom right away. You all gave me words of encouragement. Said what you said. I immediately just closed my eyes and I let go and I let God. I said my prayer. And I just put my trust in God. The next day I'm out running, looking for jobs. And I didn't have a car around the time, so I'm out from train to train, bus to bus. And next thing I know, I remember you calling me to tell me you was coming to Atlanta. You came over 700 miles away just to drive me around and help me find work. And I remember my time was running out. I remember not being able to pay my rent. I remember having to leave my apartment. I remember I was going to have to pack up and go back home. We were in the car and it was feeling like I was failing. I was failing myself. And I didn't say anything. I was just thinking everything. I'm going to have to go back home. I felt I don't want to have to start over. I came to Atlanta for a purpose, for a reason. And you interrupted my thoughts. You didn't know what I was thinking, but you interrupted my thoughts. And you turned over and you looked at me and said, hey, you moved to Atlanta by yourself and you did good. I'm proud of you. But I don't want you to think in this moment that if you have to go back home, you failed. Look at this as if maybe you left something behind. Go back home, get what you left behind, and then you can come back to Georgia. At the time, I didn't respond because I was so shocked. You literally said the words that I was thinking. I was worried. I feel like I failed. And you literally told me I did not fail. And not to worry. That I did good. I just sat there. And I had to come back home. And you were right. I left some things behind and I needed some things there. I needed my parents. I needed you. I needed you guys to be there at my time of my pregnancy. I needed more words of encouragement to get me through that. Because that was a hard time for me. It was hard. And everything I go through now, I think of that moment we shared. I think of you saying, whenever I feel like I'm failing, I hear your voice, you tell me, you did not fail. And I'm not failing. And I have you to thank for that. And I love you so much that you're here with me even when you're not here. So happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day for me, from Elijah. He's not with me right now, but you're his grandpa. You're his granddad. You're his dad, and you're there to help me, to help him. And I thank you. And I thank you for staying in my head and telling me not to worry and reminding me that I am not failing. So happy Father's Day. And I love you so much.